Because like getting your foot in the door in the U.S. as a Canadian citizen resident is not easy,
No,
right?
it's
Like
tough. It's very tough.
yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have any clout.
Yeah.
Your business over here, they don't give a damn about it. You have no credit in the U.S. You've got to make some inroads
Exactly.
to even have this opportunity.
Yeah.
Didn't even get to cross.
For reasons that Scott and I have talked about on previous podcasts, the fact of the large scale ownership in Canada is mostly owned by the REITs and funds and things like that. It's actually flipped in the US, which is 80% owned privately. There's obviously more product in the US. You have amazing property like this, available, it's for me, someone like me to get into something like
an individual investor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This would be very tough to get into in Canada. The cap rate would be astonishingly low. The
return on your
investment
Like
would
you'd be
be
better
so
off
low.
buying duplexes and triplexes and single family.
Exactly. Which is what I've done.
Right.
The majority of the time, I own small buildings in Windsor, very small, but I've always wanted to get to this level and continue to scale at this level for the longest time, and I've finally done it.
Because like getting your foot in the door in the U.S. as a Canadian citizen resident is not easy.
No,
right?
it's
like
tough. It's very tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have any clout.
Yeah.
Your business over here, they don't give a damn about it. You have no credit in the U.S. You've got to make some inroads
Exactly.
to even have this opportunity be present.
Now, there was some things that gave me clout over there, and it was because of my obviously my financial scenario and the financial scenario of the other businesses that I own.
Like Canadian Protein.
Yeah.
Like they probably looked at Canadian Protein and
Yeah.
said, okay, we'll give you some grace because
Yeah.
you have a solid cash flowing business, especially with COVID and stuff going on.
Exactly. Yeah, we do well. It's a well-run company, and that was one of the things that brought clout to the whole picture. The whole, I basically had to write or give them, I guess, a very similar business, something similar to a business proposal or a business plan. To allow the bank to, convince the bank to give me the money to do the deal.
Yeah.
Right. So
you have to prove to them
Yeah.
that it's not just financial. Also, you have to prove to them that you can manage.
Yeah, of course.
a
Yeah,
large
that was actually a big
multi-property.
thing. I had to actually prove to them that I was capable of managing large scale real estate. That's 56 units right there, right?
Yeah.
So, one of the things that I presented to them was I was a president of a condo association for 220 units for 4 years. And, that was one of the things that actually, gave me the clout to be able to convince them that I could do this. And then another thing that gave them the clout gave me clout was the majority of those tenants and owners in that condo building were actually seniors, which this building is a senior community, which I absolutely love.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I guess we'll break down what ended up happening on this deal here. So, I ended up getting this deal locked up probably 6 months ago, and that's how long it took me to, navigate my way in the States and have these people have me convince them that I'm a good candidate to be owning real estate over there. I literally cold called probably 200 banks and financial institutions. 2 came to the table. Actually, one of them was actually an agency lender. It was Freddie Mac that came to the table, which is like, I can't even believe they even agreed to it. They came to the table, and then a couple banks came to the table as well. So I'll give you an idea of the different scenarios. So the bank that I got the loan on is a traditional bank. They did not require well, the rate was, let's go this route. So on this property here, I'm getting a 30-year AM, a 5-year term with a rate of 3.9%, which sounds high in Canada now, but over in the US for commercial real estate, that's actually like a really good rate. And then I got approved by, and that was very similar to a lot of the other banks, maybe plus or minus 5% that I got. And then the agency lender was Freddie Mac, and their rate was, I think, 3.55. So the agency lenders over in the US is like CMHC almost, kind of. It's like their equivalent. I'm pretty sure it's like their equivalent. They typically will lend lower rates, but they have some other caveats to be able to lend to, such as I had to put down what's called, like, it's almost like the COVID fee, I guess you could say. Yeah, insurance. Yeah, it's called insurance. So I would have had to given them 1 year of pay down or of debt service, 1 year of it held in trust with a bank over in the US. So although the money was cheaper at 3.55%, I had to pay them, I had to give them a year's worth of debt service. And then I also had to, because I was a Canadian citizen, give them something like $250,000 down on deposit in case like shit hit the fan for whatever other reason. So there was a couple scenarios like that I came across.
So interest rate wasn't the only factor, right?
Interest rate was definitely not the only factor.
Yeah.
So I ended up choosing the option that gave me a good rate, allowed me to start a relationship with a bank over there. Because again, with the agency lenders, they like to start relationships with you, but you go through like an intermediary. You don't work directly like with the actual agency, right? Like you don't work with like Freddie Mac. You work with someone that's like a broker for Freddie Mac kind of deal. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So whereas on the banking side, I was literally, to get this deal done, I was literally dealing with the CEO of the bank.
Yeah.
So it's a smaller bank. It's not like a large bank, but it's a bank that likes this type of property. So they ended up doing it. They also allowed me to syndicate equity on the property, which is like super interesting. So I can actually bring in partners on this deal, for people that want to actually own this building with me and property like this.
And that's exciting to me because like I always have dreams of owning U.S. real estate. I just know that as a small investor, I'm going to go over there. Like nobody's going to lend me money on something like this.
Now, a lot of people will say, well, why didn't you just get your Canadian bank to lend you money? They don't lend on stuff like this over in the U.S. So
like even if RBC had an office in Michigan.
So I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So they will loan money in the States and for investment purposes, but mostly on single family homes. Now RBC owns a bank called City National, but they'll only loan in cities or states that they have a physical presence in. They don't have a physical presence in Michigan. And trying to get these guys to work with you was like worse than trying to convince an American bank to work with you, which is like beyond me. I couldn't
really weird, yeah.
I couldn't understand why I couldn't get these guys to work with me. And I was like, listen, like I'm a good customer of RBC. I literally had, the VP of commercial financing like writing recommendation for me. My other commercial guy writing a recommendation for me. Your brother-in-law like was vouching for me, and it still wasn't good enough to get this guy from City National to go to bat for me. So I was just like, you know what? Like, I'm not going to be able to move quick and scale if I'm going to be constantly met with these issues over in the U.S. So I need to start a relationship with a bank over in the U.S. and get the deal done.
And relationships with lenders are important, right?
Oh,
they get
so
to know
important.
you, you get to know them, and they have little levers they can probably pull, right?
Yeah.
They trust you as a client.
Absolutely, yeah.
And they know that they're gonna get your business.
For sure.
Same with anything, by the way. Like,
absolutely. So on this deal here, this was actually like a very unique deal in a way that the owners of this current property here do not get along at all. So the entire time it was very difficult trying to get anything done. So my lawyer had to go through their lawyers, and their lawyers had to go to the owners, but the owners didn't talk. So it was only amongst the lawyers that were talking and trying to get this deal done. And it was just, it dragged on for 6 months because nobody could like one answer would take like a week, 2 weeks to get an answer on, right? And then I ran into some issues trying to get like some certain things done over in the States. And then COVID came into play and all this type of shit. So this deal actually dragged out quite a long time. You know that, Jesse, like how long I've been talking about this. It's been crazy. It got to a point where I actually didn't think I was going to be able to get it done.